Guys, have you ever read something that speaks to you deeply and sticks with you throughout the years? It's not often that I have moments like that, but when I do, it's so impactful and like life-changing for me. This is such a random example, but honestly, from the day I read the poem Timeless by Rupi Kaur, is that how you pronounce her name? Kaur? I'm probably saying it wrong, but you know, the Milk and Honey Girl. It's been something, so the poem Timeless, it's been something that has been on my mind like pretty much constantly. And I am by no means a fan of poetry. I typically find it boring or a little cringe, especially slam poetry, which literally makes me like wince in embarrassment. And I'm certainly no fan of Rupi, as I, like most people, find her work to be painfully basic and remedial. But if you're a fan of either poetry or Rupi, that's not a slight against you or your taste. It just means we don't really have that in common, so that's okay. I say all of that to make it clear that it's extremely rare for me to not only enjoy a piece of poetry, but for it to genuinely stick with me for years and years. And at this point, it's kind of become like the mantra for my life, which is so crazy because of all the places I was expecting to find something that's like stuck with me. I did not expect it to be from Rupi of all people, but you know what? I guess great things can come from anywhere. So the poem reads as follows.
They convinced me I only had a few good years left before I was replaced by a girl younger than me. As though men yield power with age, but women grow into irrelevance. They can keep their lies, for I have just gotten started. I feel as though I just left the womb. My 20s are the warm-up for what I'm really about to do. So wait till you see me in my 30s. Now that will be a proper introduction to the nasty, wild woman in me. How can I leave before the party started? Rehearsals begin at 40. I ripen with age. I do not come with an expiration date. And now, for the main event, curtains up at 50. Let's begin the show.
As someone who has never bought into the belief that life stops at 30, or that I'm ever too late, too behind, or that anything is ever out of my reach, this poem perfectly sums up my ideology about life. It's always been a pervasive thought in society that women grow into irrelevance as they age, and now with the rise of these online male communities, this notion has become chanted louder than ever and parroted by any musty, dusty, crusty man with a podcast and too much free time. But the thing is, I don't think they are entirely wrong. Hear me out. Yes, many people, not just women, but people in general, do succumb to a premature death by virtue of not being aware that they don't have to. So if you believe that your life of growing, learning, doing, having, receiving, beginning, completing, and deserving ends at some arbitrary age, then I guess you're right. But I don't subscribe to that, and I've never subscribed to that, and I never will. If I can be so blessed to live a long life into my 90s or hundreds, that means I still have at least 75, 80, maybe more years of life left on this earth. The thought of all the amazing things I can accomplish during that time fills me with so much excitement and hopefulness for the future and lust for life that I can hardly stand it. I'm only in my 20s and I'm a ballerina, a wife, a mother, a programmer. I'm working towards becoming a competitive adult figure skater, an author, an equestrian, a nutritionist, and who knows what else I'll choose to tackle before even 30 comes around. Like Rupi said, I have just gotten started. My 20s are the warm-up for what I'm really about to do. I see myself in the future being highly educated on a myriad of topics, being able to speak even more languages, to have authored several books, to be a highly decorated skater with a gaggle of children, perhaps even opening my own ballet bar studio if I'm lucky. I see myself getting involved in even more athletic and art forms, expanding my culinary skills, being even more involved in my community, and everything in between. Perhaps painting more, perhaps returning to music lessons, or anything else that excites me. Who says life ends at 30? Who says I'm replaceable? For the life of me, I can't imagine peaking so young. There isn't a single year that goes by where I feel like I completed that 12-month cycle in a worse position than I started. I always, without fail, emerge with new skills, better habits, achieving something I worked for, giving up something I need to leave in the past, and a better understanding of who I am and where I'm going. No matter how good I started off the year, I always look back saying, like, wow, if I only knew how much I'd grow from there. I believe that is the key to a good life and a satisfying experience, just like being yourself. My goal is to look back on each previous decade that I rack up with pride of how much I've grown and accomplished. Why should age 21 be the best I can have? Why wouldn't 40 be better? What about 60? Like, my personal mission is to always have more. And I don't mean that I need like a closet stuffed with shoes and bags. I mean more skills, more hobbies, more achievements, more seeing things to completion. There's a million ways to have fun in this world, and I want to try my hand at as many as I can. I was raised to have a Renaissance mindset by my mother, who is a do-it-all type of woman herself. She's had multiple careers of things that she's interested in, from baking to party planning to wedding planning to all sorts of things. And like, that inspired me to always be able to have new things that I like, to go after my passions, no matter what age I am. I'm genuinely looking forward to my 30s and subsequent decades. For family reasons, for skill reasons, for personal growth reasons. Society doesn't want you, specifically women, to know this, but aging is a gift that isn't guaranteed to anyone. And being able to experience multiple decades is a beautiful thing, if you allow it to be. And I hope you allow aging to be a beautiful thing. I can't wait to get old and flip through a photo album of the pictures I've taken over the years, seeing myself as a beginner in something and then growing more and more competent with each passing season. I want to see myself thriving in a multitude of endeavors, giving myself more life, no matter what Mother Nature says, no matter what year on the calendar it says. I'm gaining life as I get older. I ripen with age. I do not come with an expiration date. If you believe that you're expiring with every birthday that comes around, if you believe that you have already peaked and it's all downhill from here, if you believe that it's too late for you to experience more, start more, do more, try more, have more, and win more, I feel sorry for you, but I simply cannot relate. The world is my oyster, and I will squeeze every last drop of juice from it until the day I die. I'm just getting started.